Welcome back to J.P.'s World of Wrestling. I am your man, J.P. And today we are continuing on with the adventure of the Royal Rumble. And today starts the first inaugural edition of Volume 2 of the DVD box set, the DVD anthology box set. Now this one, it's not as beat up as Volume 1. Because let's face it, those first 5 Royal Rumbles, in my opinion, were the best. So I've watched those ones the most. And this one, it's pretty worn as well. It's got some wear and tear on it. But let's look at the Royal Rumble 1993. Now, one thing I liked about the Royal Rumbles is when Gorilla Monsoon would do commentary, and he would kind of call out the length of time that each individual guy had been in the Rumble. And I just like that. I don't know why. I always thought it added a lot to the Rumble. But anyway, 1993, it was a transitional time for the WWF. Hulk Hogan was all but gone from the WWF. He wasn't quite gone yet, but he wasn't part of this event, and he was, really on his way out. But for the first time ever in this Royal Rumble, the winner of the Royal Rumble match itself would get a shot at the champion at WrestleMania. And so the stakes were high. Almost as high as the previous year where the title was actually on the line of the Rumble, but still this is pretty high. So not as many actual matches on this one. We had the Beverly Brothers versus the Steiner Brothers, and of course the Steiner Brothers are going to win that one. I mean, come on. Oh, yeah, so you had Marty Jannetty versus Shawn Michaels, a feud for the ages. Now, we all remember what happened there. The Rockers had been a long-time tag team, but then Shawn Michaels decided to go his own way, and they were on the barbershop, and Shawn Michaels, super kicked Shawn Michaels super kicked Marty Jannetty, picked him up and threw him through a plate glass window. And so things were going okay for him. He was out there doing his thing in the ring, and then Marty Jannetty shows up and challenges Shawn Michaels. And he actually wins the Intercontinental title for 1 week, but then Shawn Michaels eventually wins it back, and it was this whole thing. But the feud culminated in this match at the Royal Rumble. So Shawn Michaels won the Intercontinental title, where he successfully defended the Intercontinental title on this event. Then you had Bam Bam Bigelow versus Big Boss Man. 2 behemoths colliding. And I believe Bam Bam Bigelow won that one with a headbutt from the top rope. Then he had a WWF title match. Now, the interesting thing about this title match is it was Bret Hart versus Razor Ramon. But Bret Hart was a different kind of champion than Hulk Hogan, because Bret Hart matches, well, they took a long time, because they were trying to convey that Bret Hart was able to wrestle for a long time, and his matches, conveyed that, because his matches were really long. They just kind of went on and on and on and on, rest hold after rest hold after rest hold. Now, I like Bret. I've always respected Bret, but honestly, some of his matches were kind of boring, and it was just, but I liked him. I liked Bret. Don't get me wrong. I respect Bret. I don't always necessarily agree with some of his opinions and some of the verbiage that he uses for some of his peers, but nevertheless, I still respect Bret, and I respect everything he accomplished in the wrestling industry. But anyway, this match, it was pretty good. Razor Ramon, he brought it. He was able to keep up with Bret, but in the end, the Hitman reigned supreme and successfully defended the WWF title. Anyway, so on to the Royal Rumble match itself. Now, 30 participants over the top rope. We all know the spiel with the Royal Rumble. And like I said earlier, this was the first time ever that the winner of the Royal Rumble would go on and get a title shot at WrestleMania. So the winner of this Rumble match ended up being Yokozuna. And it ended up being him and the Macho Man at the very end. Macho Man came off the top rope with an elbow, but then he tried to go for a pin. But then Yokozuna kicked out so aggressively, he actually flipped Macho Man off of it. Macho Man went over the top rope onto the floor. So Yokozuna would win the event. And they were going with a theme on this one. So the theme for WrestleMania, because WrestleMania was going to be in Las Vegas that year, and the theme was going to be, Caesar and Cleopatra, because it was going to be held at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada. So at the end of this Royal Rumble event, Caesar himself came into the ring and declared Yokozuna the winner, and declared that Yokozuna would get a shot at the champion. So, it was good. I liked it. Probably not as much as the 92 Rumble, but it was still a pretty good Rumble. And hooray for Yokozuna. I always liked Yokozuna. Hooray for him. And it's too bad that he went to WrestleMania 10 for his big moment, won the title, only to lose it seconds later. But that's another thing. So I believe I've already covered that, but maybe sometime we'll talk about that more. But anyway, the Royal Rumble 1993. I liked it. What did you think of Royal Rumble 1993? Leave me in the comments below. And if you're new, feel free to like and subscribe. We're almost at 100 subscribers. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. And I will see you next time.